Welcome in then to the latest edition of Extra Time. Thank you very much for your tweets. Shaka Hislop with us in the studio. Stevie, Nicol as well, wearing his shiny dancing shirt. And Ian... Ian, what's with the tie today? Tie, no jacket.
Well, I've noticed that Shaka in the studio recently looks so very debonair that I thought I'd better try to dress up. I know you can't possibly match Shaka, but I'm giving it a go. It's my best shot.
Can something be done about players yelling and screaming, Shaka, when they've barely been touched?
No. Something like what? What are you supposed to do if a player screams out?
I don't know. Say, don't do that. That's enough. Enough of that screaming.
Do what?
Stevie, were you a screamer?
No.
No. Was anyone a screamer?
Listen, if the coaches can, the coaches can just walk up and say, hey, pack your screaming in.
Right.
There you go. Stop screaming.
But does it not
you hear it enough times, then
does it not pay dividends,
it.
Stevie? Does it not influence the referee if somebody screams as if it's a real injury?
No. Well, you got everybody screaming. So it sort of cancels each other out. That's all you hear. You actually hear more screaming now than anything else.
Yeah, Ian, you must notice
Referees just go like that now. Yeah, right.
Yes.
You must notice on the commentary, yeah? Obviously no crowds.
Well, there is a serious element to this, and it's because it's an empty stadium. I think the players are definitely trying to scream louder in the hope that they get the free kick from the referee. When the stadiums were full, nobody could hear it anyway. So it's just another piece of gamesmanship we're getting at the moment. Soon the crowds will be back.
Yeah.
Soon we won't have to listen to this.
Is it a positive, though, Ian, being able to hear everything everybody is saying?
It's far outweighed by operating as a commentator in an empty, deserted stadium, what's basically a ghost town. So I can't wait for there to be spectators again. I mean, there are going to be 22,000 fans at the FA Cup final this weekend between Chelsea and Leicester, and that's going to be heaven.
Oh, that's brilliant. Ian, if Harry Kane leaves Spurs in the summer, do you think he would be a better fit for Manchester United or Manchester City?
Well, City are desperate to sign a striker, and I know the people at the top at Manchester City want to make sure they give Pep Guardiola what he wants. But, of course, City have been playing without a striker.
Yeah, why are they desperate? Why would you be desperate for a striker when you've won the league, got to the Champions League final without one?
Well, because they want that option as well, if they want to go with that route. I mean, if a player like Harry Kane becomes available, everybody's going to be interested in him. But who needs him more? Probably Manchester United. And they do need a big marquee signing. But are there going to be these huge signings this summer? All the clubs have been kind of crippled by the COVID crisis.
For Ian, I remember you predicted United to finish second in the league this season. No, I don't remember that. And you got laughed at by the panel.
I did.
Oh, I can't imagine just laughing at you.
Who did he have as first?
Yeah.
How would you feel if they secured second?
I don't take any pleasure at all in correct predictions because I get loads wrong, like everybody else on here, really. But it's all a bit of fun. I just thought their early season form was probably a bit false and that they would recover. So I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's done a pretty good job there. But they do need to pick up that trophy at the end of the season.
Did you have City winning the league, Ian?
No, I had Liverpool. So there you go. Predictions make fools of us, Dan.
That didn't last long, did it? That's smugness.
No.
That's typical. That's typical Thomas.
What?
Typical Thomas. Darke gets something right, gets a bit of praise, and you've got to bring the hammer down and try and make him look daft.
Well, it seems like...
Typical Thomas.
It continues here. Ian, what were you...
well done, Darke. Oh, by the way, you got that way wrong, so you don't know what you're talking about, basically. That's what you're doing.
I wouldn't speak to a man dressed like that in that manner, Stevie. I'll give you detention.
I think I'm going to take this tie off in a minute.
Ian! Oh, come on now. Let's calm it down.
Take the tie off.
Rebel. What a rebel.
Look at that. Wow. Keep going, Dad. Ian, what were you thinking a few months back when you said Arsenal would end up in the top four? Where do you think they'll finish next season?
Typical Thomas, isn't it, Stevie?
Typical Thomas,
Stevie. Look.
Hey,
This is a bit like the film
Just
where
knock
Jack
a man down
Nicholson's in the
again.
dock. I refer you to my previous answer.
For Ian. Oh, God, there's a lot for you, Ian.
Oh, what is this?
I know.
Ask Shaka something.
Ian, you said Liverpool would... No. For Ian, what was your motivation to become a commentator? Was it a planned career move or happened on its own over the years?
No, it kind of happened on its own over the years. I mean, I used to work in the BBC Radio Sports department, and somebody there said, "Oh, your voice might be okay for commentating." So I did probably about 30 or 40 test commentaries until anybody thought they would let me loose on the air. So it took a long time. Didn't happen overnight, but I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, so are we, Ian. So are we. It's very, very good. Despite what Shaka says.
What?
Oh, how patronising is Thomas again?
It's backhanded compliment
So
night
are
here.
we. Look at him.
I like Ian's
Honestly.
commentary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Right, Stephen. Who is a worse defender at set pieces, Pogba or Ronaldo? And why do star players no longer enjoy doing the dirty work and give blood, sweat and tears for their teams?
I actually think Ronaldo's a better defender at set pieces than Pogba. I don't think he's very good on a wall, but I think if he has to mark somebody or he has to make a header, he'll do it. Pogba just gives me the impression he just doesn't want to be anywhere near any of that stuff. That's certainly what it looked like today and in previous games. So I would say Ronaldo's probably better off than Pogba.
Stevie, it's a bit lazy to say that star players no longer enjoying the dirty work. Star players never enjoyed doing the dirty work ever, did they?
There was always individuals that... There was always individuals that you wouldn't put in that position because you knew they either couldn't do it or didn't want to do it, really. But most people would give it their all. Pogba just seems... I'm going to say he doesn't know what he's doing as opposed to not giving it his all. Because it just looks like he has no idea what he's doing. And that can happen with players. You know, players, you can get them on the training field and you can show them time after time after time what to do, you know, when to do it, what they should be thinking. But when it comes to a game, you know, now it's up to the individual. And if they just don't get it, then they don't get it.
Does Ian think that Southgate would take Trent to the Euros after watching him today?
I think he's got to. I think he was Liverpool's outstanding player tonight, and I think he has been in recent matches. I think the reason he left him out of the last squad was he's a bit worried about him as a defender. But I'm always of the view, really, that you should concentrate on what players can do, not what they can't do. He brings you so much to the table. Even if you're not going to start him in the games, he's got to be an option. So for me, he has to be in that 26-man squad.
Right, here we go, Shaq. Which Premier League manager would you most want to go and get a pint with?
Which Premier League manager
Yeah.
I'd most want to go get a pint with?
Right.
Jurgen Klopp.
Really?
I think he'd be the most fun. I think you could talk football and have fun with Jurgen Klopp more so than most managers.
Ian, you've probably been, I imagine, with a pint with some of these managers in the past.
In the past, yeah, for sure, because we used to always get invited in for a cup of tea before the game, after the game with managers, but now, of course, it's all become a little bit more corporate and distant, and they don't let media people in the tunnel area, etc. So that's harder to do than in the old days. But to answer the question, I think I'd go Sean Dyche, really.
Right.
That would be interesting, and I get the feeling, not that I'm making any accusations because I don't know, but there might be quite a bit of alcohol consumed.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. Big Sam would be fun as well because he'd be so bitter and angry at the world. Just get him drunk and let him rant.
How you put Big Sam there like that? Why?
Well, because of what happened in England, the Newcastle situation, getting relegated.
So he's just going to be bitter and angry and
Well,
drunk?
this is a man who came out and said that, he could be coaching Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, wasn't it?
I'm just saying, I'm just amazed at how
I think it'd be good fun.
you just freely assume that Big Sam is going to be angry and drunk.
Oh, Ian, my producer wants me to ask who's older, you or Roy Hodgson. That's not very nice, is it? All right.
Yeah. It is Roy Hodgson. It is Roy Hodgson, yeah, because we're all wondering whether Roy will actually still be the manager of Palace next year. There's a lot of talk about changes there in the summer, but, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, indeed. Stevie, who would you like to go? I know you're not a big drinker, but who would you like to go for a drink with?
Yeah, you go with Sean Dyche.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting. Who do you think would last? Who do you think would cave first? Sean Dyche, me, or Pep?
Cave in what sense? What game are we playing?
Well, the only way you can leave is if you're carried out.
Right. What if you put Pep into that?
Because he'd last 2 minutes, wouldn't he?
He'd last about the same time as I normally do.
He'd last 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem with
Hey,
Pep,
do you want another one? He's like, I've still got this one.
Morning.
We're like, what?
you couldn't turn. Pep would just talk about football all the time, wouldn't he? You wouldn't be able to put the ball down. I think with the others, I think it'd be much more interesting. Like Big Sam. Shaka, what was Tuchel's reasoning for starting Kepa over Mendy yesterday? Do goalkeepers really need to be rested? No.
Really hardest workers on the field, Dan.
Really?
Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that.
Isn't it just that he's starting in the FA Cup, wanting to get him in a rhythm?
I would guess so.
Rhythm?
I think he starts in the FA Cup, so yeah, why not?
Ian, can we fairly compare Sir Alex Ferguson to Pep, considering how the game and players have changed?
Well, Sir Alex won the title, 13 times or something, so Pep's got a bit of catching up to do yet. It's a longevity question, but obviously Pep Guardiola is a master tactician and coach and brain. It's hard to compare eras, isn't it? But obviously Sir Alex is still number one, isn't he?
Final question, and it's to Steve Nicol. How does your wife react, Stevie, when you're watching Liverpool play?
She knows to keep out the road.
Right.
Put it that way. She doesn't hang about.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all do. We all
I'm
know
usually
to keep out
left
the
on my
road.
own.
Yeah. There were times when we used to all watch the games together, and then at half-time, Stevie would have to go off on his own to watch the second half.
It was best for everybody concerned.
Yes,
it was best for everybody if Steve
He gets all worked up, wouldn't he, Shaka?
And angry.
Angry
and so, like, if something happens and you laugh, we'll laugh. Like that.
And then our producer would start pointing out the laws of the game.
Yeah, then he would get all angry.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of anger involved. Ian, do you get most emotional watching Portsmouth?
Oh, very sad. I mean, they didn't make the playoffs, and they didn't deserve to make the playoffs on Sunday. All they needed was a home win. They couldn't do it. So, yeah, I was quite emotional, but rather more depressed, I'd say. Wow.
Reminder of when Shaka used to play for them.
Oh, Shaka was great at Pompey.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, those are good days.
He can tell you all about it in a drink with a Premier League manager. Maybe Harry Redknapp.
Harry would be good.
Yeah, Harry would be good.
Harry would be a good person for a pint with, most definitely. Okay, I think that's it.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think we're done. Thank you very much, everybody. We will be back tomorrow for more looking ahead, of course, to the FA Cup final between Chelsea and Leicester.
Oh.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.